feeling when you're putting together a puzzle and you're almost done, and then you realize that you're missing a crucial piece? Well, that's exactly what happened to one of my real estate transactions. Everything was coming together nicely, and then we hit a major snag that almost derailed everything. So how did we find the missing piece and bring everything back together again? Stick around and watch this, because there was some serious problem-solving skills involved with this one. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Richelle Ward, and I am an established real estate agent in the state of Connecticut. I love problem solving, and I actually love to do puzzles. So stick around and watch this video, and if you find it helpful, please share it and like it and subscribe to my channel. I have closed many difficult real estate transactions in my career, but the one I'm going to talk about today, it was difficult on a completely different level. I was called in to give a valuation on a house to a woman who had recently become a widow. Her husband had been in the Army, and he had a VA mortgage on the house. A VA mortgage is issued by the Veterans Administration, and it is a perk for servicemen. Since the husband had passed away, she could no longer afford to live in her house, and she really didn't know what to do. She had several family members who were present at this meeting, and we had a large conversation about a course of action for the widow to take so that she could get out from underneath the burden of this huge mortgage on the house. When we took a look at things, there was more owed on the house than what the current value was. So essentially, it was a short sale. If she was to do a short sale on the house, it would ruin her credit. So what should she do? I reached out to the lender to get some information and options on what the widow could do to get out of this house. They said that she could do a short sale on the property, that they had a process in place for it, and it would be no problem. She could also go through a foreclosure on the property, and she could stay in the house until the house was actually foreclosed on. Then they let us know that because she was the spouse of a serviceman, she could take advantage of a deed in lieu of foreclosure. The deed in lieu of foreclosure would give the house back to the bank, and it would not impact her credit in any way. And that, to me, seemed like the route she should go to. So on another meeting with the client, I discussed all the options that were laid out to me by the lender, and the family agreed that the deed in lieu of foreclosure was the best option for the widow to take. The family contacted the lender and let them know that yes, she would do the deed in lieu. Sounds simple, right? But no, this got much more complicated. In order for her to do a deed in lieu of foreclosure, the land records could only reflect one open mortgage, and that was the current mortgage. So I went to the clerk's office in town hall to review the land records, and lo and behold, I found an open mortgage from the 1980s, and there was no satisfaction of mortgage ever filed on the land records. This was an open mortgage that would prevent her from being able to do the deed in lieu of foreclosure. So how do I get this document that this client desperately needed? I printed out the mortgage and contacted them and learned that they had gone out of business in the 1980s during the savings and loans crisis. The mortgage had been taken over by several other savings and loan companies who all went out of business. So this is getting kind of difficult trying to get the satisfaction of mortgage. I then learned that the Resolution Trust Corporation had been formed in 1989, and their sole purpose was to deal with the fallout from the savings and loan crisis. So I'll give them a call, right? I reached out to the Savings and Loan Corporation and find out that in 1995, they were taken over by the FDIC. Contacted the FDIC, who said, yes, we have all the records from the Resolution Trust Corporation. We will look this up and let you know what we find. A couple days go by. I called them up again, and they confirmed that yes, this mortgage had been paid off. It was no longer an encumbrance on the property, and that they would send the satisfaction of mortgage. This process took about a month to get the satisfaction of mortgage, and once it came in, it was filed on the land records. The family then contacted the lender and said that their mother was going to move forward with a deed in lieu of foreclosure. A date was established for when she would turn the home back over to the bank, and she needed to be completely out of the house. So now that I've got this part solved and the widow could move on, the question became, where is she going to move to? I called a lender that I work with often and started asking some questions and explained the situation that the widow was in. I learned that she would qualify for an FHA mortgage and that she could purchase a new home with as little as 3.5% down. Bingo, we've got a plan. She can get a mortgage. So next I needed to find a condo complex that would accept an FHA mortgage, and there happened to be one in the town over that was new construction. We looked at the units, and she absolutely loved the complex and loved the townhouses. She put an offer in on one, and it was accepted. The snag in all of this was that it was going to take 6 months for her new condo to be built, and she needed to be out of the house months before that. Made arrangements with the management company for the condo complex and got her a rental to cover the months from when she left her home until she was able to move into her new condo. Closing day came, she moved in, and she loved this condo. I'm happy that she was able to move out of the home that she could no longer afford and land in a place that she absolutely loved. So finding that missing puzzle piece, which was the FDIC, to get the satisfaction of mortgage, took some work, but I was able to find it. I hope that you have found this video to be informative, and if you have, please like the video, share it with someone who may need to hear this information, and like my channel. I will see you again in the next video, and have a great day.